Hello everybody. Today we're gonna have a little video about tying your shoes and also about not tying your shoes. First, let's talk about the not tying your shoe part. They got these new shoes where you slip in and it stretches, but it stretches over here, right? So you don't have to tie them all the time, and this stretches out. But I find that this puts a lot of pressure on the top of my feet here. And I am no doctor, but I think having a lot of pressure over a bunch of veins can't be good for you all day long, just right there. So since I have a high arch, what I did with these shoes is I don't tie them at all. I just leave them loose, right? And even then they're a little tight. If you want to wear your regular shoes, and for example these, I come in and out of the house all the time, and I'm the kind of person that doesn't want to thread in the house all that dirt from the outside. Also, because I live in an apartment, I have neighbors, and I'm trying to be a good neighbor and not clog around all day. Poor guy downstairs, he's retired, and maybe he doesn't want to hear a bunch of steps all day long if I'm here at the house. So since I'm taking them out, putting them in all the time, I bought what's called a Shoehorn. This is this is a long, it can be as short as this. I just bought it because the wood's pretty nice. It wasn't expensive. It was like $15, something like that. And I'm gonna show you how this works. What you do is, once you put in your foot, you have this in here, and this slips it in. Okay, I slip my foot here. I make sure the tongue is up and out. Put that back there. And there you go. And that, my friends, is a Shoehorn, and that's what it's used for. And this is why it's important to use that Shoehorn. See, I was just being lazy, like some of us are sometimes, and just sticking my foot in here and bending this. Since the foam on the inside bent, and then it made a little bump here, and now it's just damaging my shoe every time I put my feet in. I don't know how I feel yet about putting links in description where I make some money if you click on the link and end up purchasing it. As long as you're being honest and it's something you actually use, I would say yes. But some people do make a living of lying and saying it's a great product when really, they're just trying to make you buy it so they can make $1 out of it. This is why I'm not sure if I want to go that route in the future, but definitely there has to be a way to pay for the time if you're going to be doing this for a living, which I'm not. Going to other things, and I got this nice little chair right here, put right at the entrance to the house. So you want to take your shoes off, you don't want to drag all that dirt in. Let's talk about shoelaces. Here I have my everyday boots that I take to work. When it comes to this, what I want to teach is, let's do this. Let's mess one side up. If you have the trouble where you have one is longer than the other by a lot, there's a little trick to that. What you want to do is grab both of them at the same height, right? Then you come over here and you undo this, undo the next one, undo the next one, and then pull this up. And that will give you this down, the loop down here. And then you can fix this loop a little bit, right? And do it again. Pull this, the second, the third, pull this one, let's do it again, and you'll get even strings. And for those of us who don't know how to tie your shoes yet, especially with boots, you go over one over the other, into the hook, one over the other, into the hook, to the hook, and then there is, right? And it's gonna look like that. I'm gonna make a little ear here, like that. Then I'm gonna come around the top and then pull. See, I went around the top. I'm gonna go, there's a hole that opens here. Then I'm gonna pull that There. Now there's one side you pull it and it pulls this, and one side makes it tight. So what you want to do is pull the side that gets the string pulled up, and then once you have them kind of not close to the ground so you don't trip over them, then you grab all of it, you tighten it. There you go. That's how you tie some boots. And for those of you who didn't know how to tie your boots, I hope you learned today. You learned how to use a shoehorn. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and please leave a comment. Let me know what other things I can teach you all out there that, might be helpful. Hey, it was great seeing you again, and take care.